Hey guys, so today I wanted to make another video telling you about things that you didn't know about collecting Militaria. Just random information I want to give you that you might not know. There's so much to learn. Even if you've been in the hobby for 50 years, you can never know everything. But I got some pretty interesting stuff to share with you today, and so I'm going to go ahead and bring you in and let's get started. All right, so like I said, I got a table full of things here, random things here to share with you. Good variety of stuff. And so I'll go ahead and get started. So I've got this uniform here in this video for two purposes, two reasons. And the first one I wanted to talk about was this patch right here. Most of you recognize it'd be an armored patch, and it's got the 6, so it'll be 6th armored. But I got a question for you. Do you know what the colors represent? Do you have any idea what red, blue, and yellow mean? Some of you do, but probably a lot of you probably don't. And so what I was going to tell you is the yellow here, that represents cavalry. And then the blue is infantry, and then the red represents artillery. And those three colors all represent different branches that form an armored division. And so they all represent, the different branches of armored division. So again, yellow's cavalry, blue's infantry, red is artillery. And then have you ever wondered about this right here in the middle of it, what all this represents? So this right here is actually a tank track. It's like a sideways oval, and you see it's got the wheels in there. If you've ever noticed that, that's actually the track on a tank, and that represents mobility and armor protection. And then you see you've got the cannon right here across the middle, and the cannon represents firepower. And then you've got the red flash of lightning going through the middle this way, and that represents shock action. And so that's how you decide for an armored patch. And then again, the number above would be 6th armor, or 9th, or 10th, or 1st, or whatever. So that's how you can tell and kind of decipher your armored patch. So that's something a lot of you probably didn't know. Some of you probably did, but that's just kind of a pretty cool bit of information I wanted to give. And another reason I have this uniform in this video is because of this right here. You see it's got these stars right here. And those represent, those are battle stars or campaign stars. And they basically denote participation in specific campaigns or subsequent awards of a medal or ribbon. And so, again, so like this guy, he would have been in 3 different campaigns or battles with his unit. So he got 3 of them. Some people might have 1, some people might have 2, some might have 4. Whenever you see a bronze star, the bronze represents 1 award. And then if you saw silver stars, that would represent 5. So it's probably not very common you see silver. You'll see mostly the bronze stars here on the ribbon. And again, for each one, it represents, the amount of, battles or campaigns they took place in. And then, like, just for example, say you had a bronze star ribbon. You might have, a star on it, which represents that person was awarded twice. And so that's just something to kind of help you with here. If you see those bronze stars, that represents campaigns they took place in. Let's see, moving on here, I'll go down here. So this is my Japanese Nambu pistol, and something I want to share with you guys, you might not know how to date one of these. And basically, 1925 is when the Emperor's Ascension took place, and Hirohito took rule or reign in 1926. So whenever you have a Nambu pistol, what you would do is, like this first number here, that would represent a year. And you would add that to 1925. And so that means this pistol was made in 1930. And then after the decimal point, you got a 12, or I've got a 12. So that would represent the month. And so my pistol was made in December of 1930. Again, add this number, the first number, to 1925. Just for example, say you had a 17, you add that to 1925, that would be 1942. But again, mine's a 5, so that'd be 1930. And then the month, the 12th month, would be December. So that's how you determine the date on your Japanese Nambu pistol. So again, mine would be December of 1930. Moving on here, I've got a helmet and a helmet liner. And something I want to show you is pretty interesting. I actually saw one of these recently on a Facebook group. This helmet, check this out, it actually is stamped War Reject. Some of you probably never seen it before, some of you probably have, but again, War Reject. Really, this helmet evidently didn't pass all inspections, maybe because of the heat treatment, or just maybe the conditions of the of the steel itself, or just there's just different reasons why it might not have passed exactly. And so a lot of times these war reject helmets were destroyed, or they were converted or reused for other helmets. They would have been reproduced, I guess, or altered or whatever to make them war ready, I guess. Or they could have been used stateside. They could have been used by somebody that didn't actually go overseas. But I believe some of them could have possibly been overseas. You see, this one actually has a 196 on the side. Not exactly sure what that represents, but still a nice helmet. It's actually a Schluter. And again, war reject, it's kind of a random thing to see inside of there to make it, out where somebody could get their hands on it. And then I've got this helmet liner here, and as you see, it's got like a heat bubble right there on the front. And what would happen is a lot of times if a helmet liner didn't pass inspection, then they would cut them down like real short and make them into a child's toy, because they couldn't be used for, for combat. They couldn't be issued with a helmet to a soldier, and they'd have sometimes random webbing inside, and just kind of like you see here, again, made into like a child's toy they could play with. But again, because of defects like that, they would have never made it into service. Let's see, moving on here, I've got a couple patches here, and you see they both have the big red 1 on there, but they're actually different. And so I don't know if you've ever heard of, but there's what's called cut edge and then marrowed edge patches. So the cut edge would be an example of this one right here. The cut edge, it has more of a flat edge to it. It's more of a raw or unfinished edge on there. You can see it's not like a real nice or professionally made edge as far as the way it was cut. It's just kind of raw and everything. But that would be a cut edge. It actually would have been cut. A person would have cut this from the fabric. It would have been a cut edge. Whereas this one right here, this would be a marrowed. And if you can see, this one has a rolled edge, and it has a nicer finish on the edges all the way around, if you can see that. It's more kind of rounded. And then again, look, even on the back side, you see it's got like the better stitching and better quality all the way around. Again, compared to this one, you can see the difference. See, again, this would be cut edge. It's more of a raw or unfinished edge on there. And then you've got the marrowed edge on this one, which is, again, rolled, more overall nicely done. I'll show you them side by side on the front again so you can see the difference. See what I mean? See, this one's more nice finish, and that one's more unfinished or raw, I guess you could say. Cut and marrowed. So marrowed comes from actually the machine that made them. I mean, the sewing machine brand, I should say, is how marrowed came to play, because it was the Marrow sewing machine brand, and so that's where marrowing came from. So that's how you can tell the difference between your patches right there. Moving on here, I've got 4 overseas caps, and the reason I have them in this video is because of the piping on there. I don't know if you've ever noticed the difference in the color or questioned what it represents or what it means. And so, like, each color could represent different things. And so, just for example, the different color could represent different branch of service. So it could be armored, could be cavalry, air corps, infantry, medical, chaplains, ordnance, field artillery, military police. And so there is a reason why the piping on an overseas cap is a different color, because it represents the branch in the service they're in, and maybe the particular job that they are assigned to do, whatever their job or role is or branch. And so that's what the different colors represent on an overseas cap. So that's just another kind of random thing I want to share with you guys. And the last thing I wanted to share with you today is I've got 2 M1 Garands here. And the reason I picked them is because of what's called a stacking swivel. And so that would be this right here. You see that? It's called a stacking swivel. It's towards the muzzle of the rifle right there. And the reason it's called a stacking swivel is because soldiers could stand up 3 of them in like a TP shape or a triangle shape. You probably see this in war movies and even pictures. In a triangle shape or TP shape, 3 of them connected by their stacking swivels, and that would protect their rifles from just laying on the ground, from getting dirty or filthy, or getting mud all over them, causing condition issues or just issues being able to perform what it was created to do. Again, just to keep it protected from the elements on the ground. And so again, that's what a stacking swivel is. And another way you can tell that is the way a rifle sling attaches. So I got this other one here that does not have a sling. And there's the opening of the sling mount right there. And if you can tell, it's actually smaller. I mean, I'm sorry, this one's wider than a stacking swivel. If you can see that. And you see it's closed, whereas this one is open. And, you know, I've seen some guys try to force a rifle sling through a stacking swivel. And, you know, they'll end up damaging the sling, or it'll be all bunched up, boogered up. Won't look good because, again, you see the way mine's attached down here. This is where the rifle sling attaches. It's got plenty of space, especially for a leather rifle sling to attach. Whereas, again, this right here is not as wide, not as big of an opening, and it would be a big challenge to get the rifle sling to fit in a stacking swivel. And again, that's not what it was designed to do anyways. So again, stacking swivel, 3 rifles in a tripod or teepee shape, again, to protect from ground conditions, mud, different things. But kind of a shorter video, but just some more information I kind of wanted to give you guys. I actually really like making these videos, and I can tell you guys like watching them. I always like giving information and learning myself. So I've got some more video ideas, some more ideas for maybe 1 or 2 more of these type videos. And so y'all stay tuned. Let me know what you think. God bless all of you, and I'll be getting back to you soon. So thank you.